Hello students, welcome to Science Learning Gateway. Today we will do class 10th Science NCERT chapter number 8, How do organisms reproduce? This is the part 2 of the video. Few of the topics we have covered in the part 1. This is the part 2 of the same chapter. Okay, so let's start with this chapter. We've already covered asexual reproduction in that topic and we have started that sexual reproduction also in flowering plants. Today we will discuss sexual reproduction in human beings. Okay. So let's start. Reproduction in human beings. So in sexual reproduction, what happens? What do we need? We need two parents in sexual reproduction, male and female. Likewise, in human beings, same thing is there. Two parents are needed to produce the new organism. In human beings, reproduction occurs by which method? Sexual method. Okay, sexual mode. Sexual maturation. What is the sexual maturation? The period of life when production of germ cells, that is ova or egg also we used to call that, it is there in female, and sperm in male start in the body. This period of sexual maturation is called puberty. So what is this sexual maturation? It is that period of life when the germ cells like eggs or ova in female or sperm in males are formed in the body. That is called sexual maturation. Okay. It is also known as what? Puberty. In that age, what happens? Human being, that is male, will form the sperm and female will form the egg. Okay. Now we'll see the changes which occur during this sexual maturation period or during the puberty. Some of the changes are common in both male and female, but some of the changes will occur only in girls and some of the changes will occur only in boys. Now let's discuss those changes. Now we'll discuss the common changes in male and female. First changes, thick hair growth in the armpit and the genital area, means the growth of hair will increase during the puberty age in the armpit and the genital area. Skin becomes oily and may result in pimples. During the teenage, you have seen after the during that 12-13 years, during that time the skin of the individual becomes oily and many times it will be resulting in pimples. Pimples can be seen in the faces. Okay. Now we'll discuss the changes which occur in girls. Breast size begins to increase. Girls begin to menstruate. And in boys, what are the changes? Thick hair growth on face and voice begins to cracks. Generally, the boys will develop the hair growth on their face and their voice will also change that time during the puberty age. So you have to remember the changes. Questions are asked, what are the changes which occur during the puberty? The common changes you can write in both that cases. You have to remember the changes for girls also and you have to remember the changes for boys also. Okay, now first we'll start with the male reproductive system and then again we'll move to the female reproductive system. Okay, the male reproductive system consists of what? It will consist of the portion which will produce the male germ cell, and male germ cells are called what? Sperms, and the other portions that deliver the germ cells to the site of fertilization. To the site of fertilization means where does the fertilization will take place? In the female body. So some of the parts of the male reproductive system will help to produce the male gamete called the sperm, and some of the part will help to deliver those male gamete to the female body, means to the site of fertilization. So we'll discuss those parts. First part is testes. So what is the function of this testes? A pair of testes are located inside the scrotum, which is present outside the abdominal cavity. Okay, where does these testes are located? They are located inside the scrotum, and these scrotum are present outside the abdominal cavity. Why they are present outside the abdominal cavity? Because for the formation of sperm, it requires very low temperature, which should be lower than the normal body temperatures. That's why these testes are located outside the abdominal cavity. Next, male germ cell, and male germ cells are called what? Sperms, are formed in the testes. So this is the first function of testes. They help in the formation of what? Male germ cell called the sperms. Next one, testes release male sex hormone called testosterone. It will also help in the formation of male sex hormone called testosterone. There are two functions of testes. First, it will help in the production of sperms. Next one, it helps to release the male sex hormone called the testosterone. Okay. I've written both the function of testes over there, formation of sperm, and next it will secrete the male sex hormone called testosterone. What is the function of this testosterone? It will bring about the changes in boys during the puberty. It will help to bring the changes which we have discussed earlier during the changes which occur during the puberty. It will help in those changes. Okay. This is a very important topic, function of testes. You should remember that one. Next part is vas deferens. What is vas deferens? The sperm formed are delivered through the vas deferens, which unites with a tube coming from the urinary bladder. Generally, the sperms are formed in the testes. Okay. From the testes, it is delivered through the vas deferens to the urine. Which unites with a tube coming from the urinary bladder. Means one tube will come from the urinary bladder and the vas deferens will connect with that. So the function of vas deferens is to deliver the sperms. Next one is urethra. It is a common passage for both sperm and urine. Means through the urethra, sperm will also travel and urine will also pass through the urethra. Next one is associated glands. Seminal vesicles and prostate gland add their secretion to the sperms. Means these glands are present in the male reproductive system. Seminal vesicle and prostate gland. They will secrete some liquid which will be added to the sperms. That liquid or that fluid will provide nourishment to the sperms and make their transport easier. Means the secretion of the seminal vesicle and prostate gland will nourish the sperm and they will also help in their transportation. Sperms along with the secretion of the glands form the semen. Okay. The sperm, when it will mix with the secretion of the seminal vesicle and the prostate gland, it will form what? It will form the semen. So this is our male reproductive system. Now we'll discuss this with the help of a diagram. Okay. This is a diagram of male reproductive system. You can see this testes are located inside the scrotum and the scrotum is present outside the abdominal cavity. Why it is present outside the abdominal cavity? Because for the formation of sperms, it needs very lower temperature which should be lower than the body temperature. Okay. Next what we have? We have the seminal vesicle and the prostate gland. These glands will add their secretion with the sperm and their secretion will help the sperm to get nourishment and they also help in its transportation. This is our urinary bladder where urine is stored. This is the ureter. Okay. Penis and urethra is also there. Urethra is a common passage for both sperm and the urine. This is the vas deferens which connects with the ureter. It helps in the delivery of sperms from the testes to the other parts. This is the male reproductive system. Now we'll start with the female reproductive system. Okay. Female reproductive system. First part of the female reproductive system is the ovary. So what is the function? Where is this ovary located? A pair of ovary means two ovaries are there in a female body is located in both sides of the abdomen. Okay. In both the sides of the abdomen, two ovaries will be located. Female germ cell, that is eggs, are produced in the ovary. This is the function of the ovary. They help in the formation of female germ cell called the eggs. At the time of birth of a girl, thousands of immature eggs are present in the ovary. What happens when the birth of a girl takes place, when a girl is born, what happens? Many thousands of immature eggs, the eggs which are not mature at that time, are present in the ovary. At the onset of puberty, some of these eggs starts maturing. When the girl starts come in the age of the puberty, when the changes occur in her body, that time each egg will start maturing. That time the eggs will mature. One egg is produced every month by one of the ovaries. During the every month, what will happen? The ovary will produce one egg every month, so that egg can be fertilized with the female germ cell. Oviduct or the fallopian tube. This oviduct or fallopian tube is the site of fertilization. Means fertilization will take place in the oviduct or the fallopian tube which is present inside the female reproductive system. It receives the egg produced by the ovary and transferred it to the uterus. Okay, what it will do? It will receive the egg from the ovary and it will transfer it to the uterus. Fusion of female and male gamete, that is fertilization, takes place in fallopian tube. You have to remember this point. Where does fertilization takes place? So you have to write fertilization will take place in the fallopian tube or the oviduct. You have to remember, very important point. Uterus. What is the function of this uterus? It is a bag-like structure where development of the baby takes place. Okay. Or after fertilization, the baby will be developed inside the uterus. Okay. All the nourishment, food, everything it will get in the uterus. Uterus opens into vagina through cervix. Okay. Okay, this is the diagram. These two ovaries you can see, they are located on the both the side. This is the ovary. This is the funnel shaped structure. It is called the oviduct or the fallopian tube, where fertilization will take place. After that, what we have, the bag like structure is called the uterus, where the development of the baby will take place. This uterus will opens into vagina through the cervix. Okay, from where the baby will come out. So this is the structure of female reproductive system. Now we'll discuss the fertilization of eggs, how the fertilization will take place in a human body. When egg is fertilized, okay, sometimes the egg can be fertilized, but sometimes the egg will not fertilize. Now we'll discuss both the cases. The fertilized egg called zygote is planted in uterus and develops into embryo. When egg will fertilized by the sperm, when the sperm will come in contact with egg, what will happen? Fertilization will take place. That time what will happen? Zygote is formed. After fertilization, what is formed? Zygote is formed. It is planted in the uterus and develops into an embryo. After fertilization, the zygote will change into embryo. The embryo gets nourishment from the mother's blood with the help of a special tissue called the placenta. The embryo will get all the nourishment, food, etc. from the tissue, what that is called placenta. It provides a large surface area for the exchange of glucose, oxygen and waste material. This tissue, placenta, it helps in the nourishment of the embryo, first thing. Second one, it will also provide surface area for the exchange of glucose, oxygen and waste material also. The time period from fertilization up to the birth of the baby is called the gestation period. It is about 9 months. Generally in human beings, the gestation period is of 9 months. After 9 months, the baby is born. Okay, these are the situation when the egg is fertilized. But what will happen if the egg is not fertilized? The uterus prepare itself every month to receive the fertilized egg. Means in the female body, what happens? The uterus will prepare every month to itself to receive the fertilized egg. Means its wall will become, the linings of the uterus or the wall will become thick and spongy, required to support the embryo. Means in order to give nourishment to the embryo, the uterus will prepare itself. But if the fertilization will not take place, then the lining is not required any longer. But if the fertilized egg it will not receive the fertilized egg or the zygote or the embryo, the lining is not required. Then the lining will break and come out through the vagina as blood and mucus. The cycle takes place around 28 days every month and is called menstruation. Generally in girls, this menstruation will occur after every 28 days or after every month. In that, the lining of the uterus will break and it will come out through the vagina in the form of blood and mucus. So this is what we have read in female reproductive system. Now we'll discuss few of the topics which we have to read in reproductive health. Okay, so our next topic is reproductive health. Reproductive health means the health related to the process of reproduction. Okay, to the reproductive system in male and female. Some health issues are there, some diseases are there which are related to the reproductive issues. Those topics we'll do in this one. Okay, reproductive health means a total well-being in all aspects of reproduction, that is physical, emotional, social and behavioral. Means it is related to the health issues which are related with physical also, emotional also, social and behavioral also. So let's discuss with sexually transmitted disease. These are also known as STDs. Many diseases can be sexually transmitted. Means it can be transferred from the infected person to a healthy person by sexual means. Okay, so some of the examples are through bacterial infection. It can occur by and those diseases are gonorrhea or syphilis. It can be viral like HIV, AIDS or warts. Use of condom prevent this infection to some extent. We can prevent this sexually transmitted disease by using the condom. Okay, next one is contraception. It is the method of avoidance of pregnancy. What is contraception? Generally, the oral pills are available in the market. Females used to take those pills in order to avoid the pregnancy or the unwanted pregnancy, which can be achieved by preventing the fertilization of ova. If they will take those medicines or the contraceptive pills, what will happen? The fertilization of the egg or the ova will not take place in that case. Now we'll discuss the methods of contraception. There are different methods of contraception. First method is physical barrier. In this method, condoms, cervical caps and diaphragms are used to prevent the union of egg and sperm. Physical barrier means these are the obstacle by which what will happen? The fertilization of egg and sperm will not take place. They will not meet together. They will not come in contact with together. So fertilization will not take place. We can prevent that fertilization using condoms, cervical caps and diaphragm. Next is chemical method. Chemical means the medicine or the oral pills method. In this method, what will happen? Oral pills are used. Oral pills means which we have to take like a medicine or tablet are used, which changes the hormonal balance of the body so that eggs are not released. If the person will take the oral pills, what will happen? Generally the female will take the oral pills. Okay, if they will take the oral pills, what will happen? Eggs are not released in their body. Hormonal balance will be changed in their body and eggs will not be released. So what will happen? The fertilization will not take place. If no egg is there, no fertilization will take place. It may have side effect, but it can result in side effects also. Many issues can be created in that. Next one is intrauterine contraceptive devices, IUCD. In this method, what happens? Copper T or loop is placed in uterus to prevent pregnancy. In female body, in the uterus, what happens? Copper T or the loop, like a plate, these things are copper T or loop. They're placed in the uterus so that the pregnancy will be avoided. Means that the zygote or the embryo will not get nourishment in the uterus. It will not be placed in the uterus if copper T or loop is placed in that. Next is the surgical method by using the surgery. It will occur in male also and it will occur in female also. In males, what happens in surgical method? The vas difference is blocked. Means the end of the vas difference will be blocked. It will be tied through will be blocked so that the sperm will not transferred, and it is called vasectomy. In male, it is called vasectomy. Vasectomy means in male the vas difference is blocked to prevent the sperms. And in females, it is called tubectomy. In tubectomy, what happens? Fallopian tube is blocked to prevent the egg transfer. These both things, vas difference and fallopian tube, they help in the transfer of the gametes. If both the things are blocked, then fertilization will not take place. Our last topic of this chapter is female feticide. You have heard that many times the girl child are aborted or they are killed before their birth only. Means before the birth of a child, its sex is determined by illegal ways, and if it is a girl child, they used to kill that girl child. So that is called female feticide. The practice of killing the female child inside the womb, inside the mother's womb, is called the female feticide. Okay, generally the girl child is killed before their birth only. That is called the female feticide. For a healthy society, a balanced sex ratio is needed that can be achieved by educating people to avoid malpractices like female feticides and prenatal sex determination. Okay, for a healthy or a developing society, what we need? That the ratio of the male and the female should be equal in order to maintain the sex. Means in order to maintain that sex ratio, the both the things are balanced. Males also should be equal with the females. Okay, prenatal sex determination is an illegal offense in our country, so as to maintain a balanced sex ratio. If the people are caught, if they are determining the sex of a child and if they are caught, then they are given punishment by the laws. It is a very illegal way. It is not practiced in our country to determine the sex of a child. Like this, we have completed this chapter. We have discussed the reproduction, its types, reproduction in flowering plants, reproduction in males, females, sexual, asexual methods, all the things we have discussed. But why does this reproduction is necessary? Like in our body, many different types of processes are going on, like excretion, digestion, everything. Those are necessary for, those life processes are necessary for our survival. But why this reproduction is necessary? This reproduction is necessary in order to continue the species, so that a particular species will not be exhausted in the future. Suppose if human beings, if reproduction will not take place, what will happen after a time? No human beings will be there in the earth. If dogs are there, if reproduction will not take place in dog, after few years, what will happen? No dogs can be seen on the earth. So for the continuation of species, reproduction is necessary. Like this, we have completed this chapter. Go through the video once. If you have any doubt, you can ask me by commenting in the comment box so that I can clear your doubt. Thank you for watching my channel. Please like and subscribe my channel, Science Learning Gateway, and share this with your friends so that it can be helpful for them also. You can write the notes from here. All the notes are there. All the notes are covered from your NCERT textbook. So you can copy down and it can be helpful for you during the exams. Thank you.